Love is in the air this weekend as Valentine's Day rolls around campus. This week we found out what Yaleys are planning to do on this romantic day.
Also, YTV sat down with Linda Lorimer, Yale's exiting Vice President for Strategic and Global Initiatives. We got her thoughts before she steps down.
Stay tuned for these stories and more. It's your Yale, your week, and your news. Hello and welcome to YTV. I'm Stefina Yuli and this is YTV's last weekly news segment. We're launching an exciting new chapter of YTV. Instead of having a weekly show, we'll be bringing you your best stories 3 times a week. We'll also continue to host the Yale Daily Minute each evening. And now we'll go to Michael Leopold in the newsroom with this week's headlines.
Thanks, Stefina. The Yale College student being treated at Yale New Haven Hospital for probable bacterial meningitis is improving, according to an email to the Yale community from the director of Yale Health, Paul Jennison. A suitemate said the student is still in the intensive care unit of the hospital. On Thursday evening, the student was taken to Yale Health with severe flu-like symptoms. The search for people that have been in contact with the student is still ongoing. Yale is the only school in the Ivy League that did not see an overall increase in applications this year. But Dean of Undergraduate Admissions Jeremiah Quinlan said that unlike many other Ivies, Yale only targets high-achieving students likely to gain admission to the university. This year, the admissions office decided not to send viewbooks to roughly 16,000 unlikely applicants, reducing printing and shipping costs. Director of Outreach and Recruitment Mark Dunn said admissions targeted high-achieving, low-income students this admissions cycle. Last Tuesday, the Veterans Legal Services Clinic at the Yale Law School, in conjunction with several unions, filed a lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Defense. They claim that it violated the Freedom of Information Act because they cannot access military academy admissions and recruitment records, which they believe should be accessible under FOIA. The plaintiffs wanted these records to understand why military schools have the disproportionately small female population. Recent events on campus have grown dialogue on Yale's mental health policies. Some students have created a blog called Nox et Veritas as a forum for students to anonymously share their experiences. The YCC is working to develop a mental health fellows program to help connect students to pre-existing campus resources. Other students are working to create a bystander workshop to increase student awareness of mental health issues. Additionally, the committee appointed by Dean Jonathan Holloway to look into Yale's withdrawal policies will release a report sometime after spring break. That's it for this week's headlines. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Michael. It's been a snowy week in New Haven, and for some, snowy nights are a perfect time to enjoy a little Yale arts cheer. This week, YTV went behind the scenes of a new show that will bring drama and sparkle to your Friday night. We go to Celine Tien and Nora Etienne for more.
This Friday, glitter, music, high heels, and more glitter will take over the Yale Cabaret for one night only. They'll be acting, singing, and dancing in a performance cross between a cocktail party and a cabaret. This will be the 3rd annual Yale School of Drag, an extravaganza that will showcase the gender-bending performance of the art of drag.
The Yale School of Drag is an hour-long variety show that celebrates diversity and the art of drag. And that spans from different musical performances, lip sync, choreography. It's really anything that the individual performer wants to make it.
It's essentially just a big old party.
But for many, the party stretches far beyond the stage, and the message of inclusivity and acceptance is not lost behind all the glitter. The Yale School of Drag takes the stage to openly celebrate gender identity and individuality.
The Yale School of Drag is really important for the LGBTQIA community in general, and we do reach out to those groups on campus, and we hope that people who have an interest in that movement and have a passion about that will come and celebrate sort of gender identity with us.
Like any movement, the key is to shaping minds or opinions or thoughts around any movement is visibility. And I think the fact that like we're here at all, and the fact that we're saying come celebrate this on a stage, just to stand up there and do that, I think makes a social impact, just to be visible.
Unlike a typical cabaret show where audiences wine and dine while seated at a table, audience members at the Yale School of Drag join in on the performance, singing and dancing along.
It's more of like a crazy cocktail party. There's cocktail servers that are on their feet all night long, also in drag. There's no fourth wall.
It's surprising and thrilling. There's drinking, music, dancing.
Although the Yale School of Drag is now a major production, it had relatively humble beginnings. 3 years ago, Ethan Hurd, former artistic director of the Yale Cabaret, began the show as a project to bring traditional drag to the School of Drama.
And that was his passion project, and then it was such a crowd hit among Yale and the School of Drama that we had to do it again the next 2 years.
Now, just 3 years later, the show has become one of Yale Cabaret's hottest shows. The cast has expanded to around 40 performers, while the show has also become more technically sophisticated, promising to produce special effects that are sure to impress.
This year, there's going to be some more bells and whistles that haven't really been showcased in the cabaret in recent years, because we have an army of technical directors that are just bringing things in that we didn't even know were possible. I mean, the term automation has been thrown around a lot, and they're busy literally building some machinery in there.
The show is much larger, so that's a big change.
It's bigger. This year it's bigger, it's fabulous, there's going to be a lot of surprises.
This has been Celine Tien and Nora Tien for YTV.
The Yale School of Drag premieres tonight on the Yale Cabaret stage for its one-night-only extravaganza. Although tickets are sold out, the waiting list remains open on the Yale Cabaret website.
And in other Yale news, this Saturday, Yale track and field will be running against Ivy rivals Harvard and Princeton in the historic meet at Cambridge. The Eli runners have been setting many personal bests this season, raising hopes for many wins this weekend. This week, reporter Annalise Morello sat down with the runners and found out how they're gearing up for their best year yet.
For the track and field team, this year's Valentines Day won't be filled with the typical candy and flowers. Instead, it'll be filled with cheers and pump-up music as the team gears up for their biggest race yet.
The HYP Harvard-Yale-Princeton meet at Harvard, and it's a big one every year. And Harvard and Princeton are two of the top teams in the Ivy League with track.
So this is going to be like our trial run, because Harvard and Princeton are two of the best teams in our league. So basically we're going to see how we stack against them.
Although they train daily, when preparing for this meet, the team knows that half the race is in the mind.
Mentally, we prepare a lot more. So it starts to be a lot more about like getting our perfect technique.
The physical aspect is already there. We just have to get in the right mindset, because we're definitely fast enough to compete with these guys. But it's just, mentally preparing throughout the week.
But doing well at this track meet isn't just a one-time win. Their performance this week will also help them figure out what they have to focus on in preparation for HEPS in 2 weeks.
We are just a lot more competitive.
I'd say like 40 minutes before you're competing, you just like focus on yourself, You warm up, you do all that kind of stuff, like no one else kind of bothers you, and like everyone understands.
The best thing you can do for your teammates on a team like this is to focus on yourself and like make sure that you're doing as best as you can, and that's how you help your teammates do well, because as long as you're focusing on yourself, you're inspiring other people.
While many track and field events are individual in nature, the team is certainly something that is stressed at Yale.
Definitely know that it's important for everyone to perform in order for the team to do well.
Really fun. I also like watching the 4x4. It's like the most intense race. It's always the last race of the track meet, and it really has a way of like bringing the team together. We send each other energy and we feed off of one another's energy.
On the field, everyone cheers for everyone else, because even though you compete in your individual sport, like you're always cheering for the team because each individual point gets up to like the group total.
The Bulldogs are off to a successful start to their 2015 spring season. According to the news, many track and field team members are setting personal bests. After this weekend, they will be able to see how they stack up against some of the best in the Ivy League, and this will propel them forward to success at HEPS.
The track meet will be held tomorrow, hosted by Harvard College in Massachusetts.
Tomorrow is Valentine's Day as well, the day college students both look forward to and dread. This week, reporters Nicole Daly and Herbert Gilman got the campus feel on how students are celebrating this day of love.
Celebrity Valentines for each of you. Go.
Chris Evans. Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Probably Anderson Cooper. Even though he's gay, he's really fabulous. He's a Yale. Fabulous.
Asma al-Assad, Bashar al-Assad's wife. I'd like to take her on a Valentine so I could ask her just what she's thinking.
Anderson Cooper! Gorgeous blue eyes. Yeah, Yale brings good news to America.
I'd say Jennifer Lawrence. I like her sassiness.
I'll go with Kathleen Robertson, great and attractive actress.
Beyonce.
Why Beyonce?
Because she's amazing.
I don't know if she was a Yale.
I can go for Kerry Washington. Or Lupita, yeah, Lupita Nyong'o, yeah.
How do you know that you're in love with them?
Like when you see them, you get all like giddy or something, I don't know. A tingly feeling.
Leaving lunch at home and having someone cook with
You feel your heart rate go up and you want to be around them all the time.
You can't imagine your life without them.
I think it's when you take friendship to the next level. If you love someone, you probably end up being best friends with her first.
You feel butterflies. You want to spend the most time with them. They make you happy, I guess. Yeah. You need to be in this.
I guess you should be willing to accept every characteristic of them, including their flaws.
If you don't have plans, don't fret. This weekend, many a cappella and comedy groups are also hosting their Valentine's Day shows, and it's not too late to get your tickets now.
And as always, we conclude with our Everybody Has a Story segment. This week, Cody Pomeran sat down with Linda Lorimer, the exiting Vice President for Global and Strategic Initiatives at Yale. Ms. Lorimer has served the Yale community for 29 years and has also been a leader in numerous nonprofit and corporate enterprises. She has received 4 honorary degrees for her efforts to advance women in the workforce. In this interview, she discusses her tenure and offers some parting words before stepping down. She also shares a few thoughts on her favorite snow day activities. Here are a few highlights from that interview.
Well, we always end these interviews with a speed round of quick, fun questions. So we have a couple for you. The first one, you are probably known best for your emails canceling classes on snow day. There's the famous double snow day, which we were all incredibly thankful for. Martha Highsmith needs to step it up a little bit. What is your favorite snow day activity?
My favorite snow day activity is sitting in front of a warm fire and not being closeted up at the police department where we have our emergency headquarters, trying to make sure that all the Yale College students get all their meals so that the dining halls can stay open.
Number 2, we talked about 50 Most. You are going to be featured in it. What is another Yale administrator that you think should be featured in 50 Most?
Oh, certainly Peter Salovey. He is my boss.
Mustache or no mustache?
No mustache.
All right. That's what Miss America said, too. Number 3, we asked this question to Dean Holloway, President Salovey, and President Levin. Have you ever had a Wenzel?
I don't know what they are.
All right, we should change that before April. Vice President Linda Lorimer, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so very much, Kevin.
Congratulations. And as always, thank you for joining us for YTV. This has been Everybody Has a Story. I'm Cody Pomerantz. We'll see you next time.
To watch the full interview, go to the Yale Daily News website.
And that concludes YTV's final weekly news segment. Starting Thursday, we'll be releasing individual stories 3 days a week, in addition to the nightly Yale Daily Minute. We'll leave you with a video from Yale University's Facebook page, celebrating Yale's best landmarks.
Thanks for watching. It's your Yale, your week, and your news.